Happy holidays and happy new year from all of us here at Discombobulated. For right now, enjoy 25% off site-wide at bobbyjaycox.com. Just use code your favorite cuss word at checkout, like fuck or shit or ass or dick or you know what cuss words are.
Oh, welcome back to Discombobulated. Thank you so much for coming back and supporting this. We've made it. We've made it to, this is episode 69, and that's it. There's no, if you want me to make a 69 joke, that's not, it's 69. It's honestly just a number. Sucking itself. Okay, so slinking its undoink. But anyway, we made it. We made it to 69. It was the summer of 69, except it was winter and cold. Not too cold. Because I do live in Texas. And there's just days where you're like, 54, it gets that cold. And then there's some days where you're like, it's actually kind of fucking, I got shorts on and I'm outside. Oh, it must be nice. It is nice. That's why I'm talking about it. I grew up in an area where people were like, how about this weather we're having? And I'm like, it's fucking great in another place. You could go wherever you wanted. You could get in a boat and fucking row it downstream and take all your stuff. Is that illegal? Can you move by river? Like if I needed to move, could I do it like Huck Finn stuff? You know what I mean? Like that, like, can we get all of our stuff, tie some logs together and put all your stuff and just go down the mighty Mississippi? Can I do that? Can I get one of those storage pods and instead of having them ship it from city to city, which they're like, we got great prices. And I'm like, for who? Honestly, I just don't want any of my stuff anymore. Can you toss a storage pod? Like, can you do that? Or do you have to, because you can be like, I'm restarting my life. And you just you hop on a bus and go to that city. But can you get in a kayak? I don't know. I would like to try. Next time for sure, because it was way more expensive to just keep loading my car and be like, if anyone hits me, I'm getting my head cut off with all of my records I don't listen to. Just, not the Smothers Brothers. Like, fuck. Could you imagine that's the cause of death? I got a Smothers Brothers fucking record going through my neck. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I remember these. Oh my God, that he's dead for sure. The Smothers, so they're twins. One of them, they hung out with some of the Beatles. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Smothers Brothers. That's how I go out. I don't want to do that. I'd rather next time just take all my stuff and go down the mighty Mississippi. Just just get a canteen filled with water. Just get an old rusty canteen and just all your stuff down there. Get it? Get on it. Does the mighty Mississippi go to Austin? I don't know. I've seen a lake and a river here, and I don't know where they're touching. I don't know want to know what rivers they're related to. And if right now you're getting excited because you're like, I do, keep it to yourself, nerd. No one really cares about river knowledge. I know so much about the ocean. Okay, cool. We'll talk about the ocean. Did you know that this river feeds in? You're talking about rivers feeding. Gross. If where a river feeds, you should cover it with a blanket. I don't want to see that in public. Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. I'm so glad we made it to 69 episodes. And I don't know if you noticed, I'm out of Breathe Right strips. So if you want, you could send them to the podcast. You could send them right here to P.O. Box 1721, Austin, Texas, 78760. It'll be popping up on your screen right now. Popped up in a text. That's how we did it. Or that way. Is that actually? Yeah, whichever way definitely worked. Send us stuff. Send some stuff into the podcast. Send us. You got a question? I don't know if I'll answer it. That's not what I promised what I do with this podcast. So this is a new thing. So if I see it and then throw it away, I might not want to be your pen pal. I remember having a pen pal when we were kids, and I think there's a couple of kids that like the next year got like I don't know if mine died, but I got a new pen pal. I don't know but I remember writing to like a boy, and then next year it was a girl. And of course, a lot of things could have happened. Maybe they did transition. I'm not saying that they did or did not transition. I'm saying I believe it was a different person. That's so. And I was like, and everyone else was like, "Oh, good to hear from you." And I was like, what's your favorite color? Like, I'm starting baseline with my pen pals. Did it also, was that a good thing? Like, was that ever a good thing for us that probably wasn't good to do when we were kids, right? You kind of want, like, I feel like especially at schools, like you're like, oh, I want to get to know people like in other places. And as soon as you learn that, they're like, don't ever meet strangers. You're like, well, that's what it's a pencil and paper friend. You can't hurt me with paper. Unless you got scissors and it's, what does everyone keep yelling? Because I say paper, rock, scissors, and everyone says, they're like, oh, it's rock, paper, scissors. And I'm like, it might be, but you know what I'm talking about. I guess, but you know what I mean? It's not like is it an official game? Okay, Google, what's the official name of paper, rock, scissors?
According to Wikipedia, the modern game is known by several other names such as Rochambeau, 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 Bateau Bateau Pick, and Jack and Poi.
Ew, I'm not playing Jack and Poi with anybody. Hey, you guys want to play Jack and Poi? Don't you ever talk about my Poi again. Don't you talk about my little boy. Oh no, did it? Never has, never will. I thought I have this piano here. Not trying to brag, I just fucking can kind of just, I'm really good at piano if I just like, I'll just not even try and just watch it. So, see what I mean? Not bad, right? Not a bad boy. Not a bad boy. I broke the computer. Anyway, that's just something I got set up in case we want to have fun. We won't. How was your dude, I did mean to, it was fucking my bad. I didn't even ask you how your Christmas was. How was your Christmas? Huh? Did you get everything you want? Huh? Good. Good for you. That's great. I live in a new city, which I highly recommend. If you're from a place, just moving to a different place, and I am not being bah humbug. I'm a happy guy. It's so nice when you don't have to go visit all the things. I will say, everyone else who is doing that, you do have to talk to them about it, though. That is something you will have to do. I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, my family. I'm like, I don't talk to mine, so I don't want to hear about you. Every time please, no, nope. What'd you get for Christmas? Definitely not having to talk about that or arguing. What did I do? I made one of the best meals of my life. And everyone always talks, they're like, oh, I went to the store the day before Christmas. I did forget a couple things and I had to go get some things. And guess what? Not that bad. Got some stuff, came right back home. Ooh. Made homemade chicken tendies for the first. Oh my. Dude, I didn't even know I could do that. They were great. Can you smell that? That's how good they were. So it was really nice. And also, because I do feel like as you get older, some people that I'm like, they're like, are you going home for the holidays? I'm like, no. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, well, I also feel like it's different once you like have kids, right? Like Christmas Christmas is like it's definitely, what is it? You know, like it's like a capitalistic kind of, it's a holiday. Like if literally next year it's like, it's illegal to have Christmas. It's illegal. You can't pass gifts. You can't give each other gifts. You can't secretly do it. If you try, grandma's going to prison. Grandma, get your geriatric ass to Christmas, and then you're going to the federal penitentiary. And we're sorry, but you're going. You're going right now. So if that's how you want to live Christmas, which I do, I think if you take that part of it away, how many people are really going home and hanging out? And I'm not trying to be a guy that's like sees through it. I don't know. I just know people that have complained about their family, and then they go home and they come home and they have new socks and a bunch of stories about how bad I'm like, it was like you, on the cheapest, you drove there, you stayed with them, you got a tummy ache from eating food we're gonna eat ham. We never eat ham. It's also, I feel the exact same way. And I'm not being shitty. I think go visit your family. I think all that, that's not what I'm shitting on. I am shitting on the idea of Christmas if you don't have, if you're like, I have kids, that's fucking so different. That's awesome. But if you're like just a person, you could go to fucking Tahiti. I don't even know if that's a good place. But you could do so many things. And I feel like the exact same way about like Valentine's Day. Like if I've dated someone, it's Valentine's Day. Like everyone's like, what are you guys doing for Valentine's Day? And I'm like, definitely not going to the restaurant that everyone's going to. You know what I mean? It's like definitely still doing something at home. You definitely still like, it's the day of hearts or whatever. It's the day we talk about there should be a long day for how much I love you too. But you do that. And I'm like, but you don't really need one. If you have to remind yourself how important other people are on that one day, it just seems a little backwards. And it's probably, and you're probably thinking through everything. We're comics. That's what I do. And that's what we all do. We think about this shit while you guys go home and eat food. And then the next day, I also shit like shit. I also ate too much ice cream later too. You will eat bad no matter what. You don't have to go home to a town and get a tummy ache. You could party with your friends. That is not what I did though last night. I was so sick when I was on the road that I just, when I got home, I fucking went to bed. And I stayed there for a couple days. And you might think that you're like, Bob, it sounds like you don't like Christmas and you're depressed. I swear to God, partially. But the other part is that literally sometimes like I didn't have a bed for 6 months and I was sleeping in hotels. And then when I would come home, I would sleep on the floor and complain to nobody. And so if I'm going to do that, if that's something I'm going to do, I'm going to sleep on the floor. Then finally, I'm going to sleep on a bed. Yeah, I'm going to sleep in a couple days. And then but then working out too. I started my backflip training today, not bragging. I landed a couple on some soft to soft, but I got to really get my backflip game going. You guys are going to be fucking blown away this summer when dude, you're like, is that the pink Power Ranger? You're like, yes, it is. Is that JoJo Siwa? That's not funny. Is that JoJo Siwa with a beard? That's not funny. Don't be mean. Let that girl be. We do look similar-ish. We have similar hairlines from our being dance girls when we were kids. I was a college cheerleader for 2 days. You freaking know that. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'm just the Christmas season. I feel like I'm glad. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope everyone did. But I'm just excited for the new year. We got 2025 coming. Everyone's kind of like, what's it gonna be like? Because I feel like 2024 felt like when you go to your favorite restaurant and it was just like an okay meal. You know what I mean? Not for me. I had a blast, but I tried way harder than you. So I had a blast, but I had to be poor. So you probably had more money. It's a back and forth, but I had a blast. But I feel like for most people, 24 from there, I feel like a lot of counts, everyone was just kind of like, whoa. And then I feel like 2025 is going to be like, it seems like it's probably going to be so spicy, but you have to eat. And, and you're like, ah. Like in 2024, everyone was kind of bored with stories, but now we're getting to like the hot ones episode, or like the part where it's like you're eating the chicken wings and in the middle you're just like, yeah, my grandma grew up. Where's this at on the Scoville? Okay. I was just trying to pay my taxes. Who's getting ready to pay their taxes? I can't hear you because you're not. It is tax season. Who got their W-2? Fucking yeah. When I say W, you say 2. W. When I say get 'em, you say papers. Get 'em. When I say, do I need a printer at home? Fuck, why do I always need a printer just for this like one time and then I don't use it and then I move and then I don't have a 1, 2. Fucking goddamn printers. I'll go to you're not going to the library. Stop fucking lying about the library. Everyone lies I've lied about the library. Oh, I'm just going to go. You know what's actually for? Shut the fuck up. Then instead of getting on Netflix, go to the library and rent a fucking physical DVD. I need to really start doing that though. It really does save so much money. But it's people. I go to the library. You know you don't. I've been to the library. It's homeless people with an open book sleeping. It's I'm not laughing at I am not laughing at homeless people. I'm laughing at libraries. I'm laughing because I've been at a library and I've done it because I've been pretty homeless. So I know. And if you're like, oh, that's mean, you're not going to the library. Bobby, I read books and you get them new on Amazon every fucking time. Every time. Bet you got some new books for Christmas. There's the book about the sex fucking dragons. They got a new book coming out called The Time Warp of Warpador. People who read really disgust me. I hate you. Oh my God. If you're like, because also on the off chance you've read the books I have, I'm like, because people will be like, I read a lot. I'm like, me too. They're either self-help or biographies. And then you tell someone that, and then you're like, have you read this? And they're like, no. And then they got to talk about their books. And then you're like, you got to read my book. I'm like, I don't know if you heard me. I've read fucking 7 books in my life, and 6 of those were read to me by someone I don't know. Oh, you got to read. I'm not reading your book. But I'm also going to be better. But I also try not to. I also don't. I'm not like, you got to read this. I'll just be like, I've read that. And then people are like, you got to read this. I'm like, what the fuck are you fucking doing? Hey, that's just people being people. And you got to deal with it, even though no one else is. And everyone who's in therapy is probably doing worse than anyone else you know. Than anyone. Bobby, you're dancing at home alone, and the only reason it's fine is because you're uploading this later. That's the only reason what I'm doing right now is okay. If I wasn't doing this and then uploading it later and then sharing it on my Instagram and being like, follow for 16 people, if I wasn't doing that, this would just be crazy. So I'm no better than you. I'm no better. It's crazy to go home for Christmas to someone you don't like. It's also crazier to have equipment and sitting in a bedroom and you have a roommate and you're roughly 56 years old. And I haven't checked. I think my roommate might be in high school. I swear to God. And I'm not, I don't know. 19. That's my new guess. I haven't seen his ID. I think he is 19 years old. And it might sound like that's like a passive aggressive way, for sure. Yes, for sure. But when someone doesn't help clean up and there's still cockroaches and you're like, what is there some common ground? Like maybe you also take out the trash or fucking do that, and they're just like, "Can I get you guys on that beer? I get out." I woke up to it. Dude, this motherfucker was up at I can't even remember what time, and he's like, "Hey, what's the deal with this beer in the fridge?" And I said, "I don't know. What the fuck is the deal with all the beer cans that are open all over the place?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're right. That shall never happen again. I swear to God." And on my life, there is a pile on the floor. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. There is a pile of them on the floor. So I've lost that battle. I've just realized that. And this is the only thing I have to do. I just have to get it out and say that, and then just be like, yes, this guy's going to live like a child. And, and he's got a girlfriend that's great. She knows how he lives. That's great. It's awesome. I'll clean up. I'll be the first lady that I'll just clean up the kitchen and stuff after him. His room's just going to have toenails on the ground. I'll just walk by that. But everyone else, have fun taking care of it. He's a sweet, funny boy. He's a sweet, funny boy who has no idea what to do after you cut a toenail. And I've known guys like that. They're funny. They're great. I hope it, I mean? I love the guy. That's why, That's what I'm talking about on the podcast. We'll figure out a way to make merch so we can get you a fucking cleaning person. Oh my God. What have we got here? It's a bunch of fucking... Oh, do we have a sponsor today? I forgot. Today's sponsor, we have Mats. So if you need a mat, you can call Matt. Call Matt, and they have every kind of mat you could want. A fucking bed, which is a mat. They got fucking yoga mats. They got those fucking thin yoga mats that you're like, I guess this is fine, but I would love to be a little bit thicker. So go ahead and call Mats for that, and then go to Jim's Gym. Follow them at Jim's Gym and Mats. Those are real sponsors who have paid time and time again, and I keep forgetting to mention them, but this episode I definitely did. So thank you. Here's to Mats. Here's to you. Ooh, goddamn. Oh, fuck. At some point during my dancing, I spilled coffee. Is that all over my shoe, too? Sometimes you just be having too much fun. Too much fun. What's that mean? It's like too much fun. Don't be fucking dumb. You know what that means. Car too fast, being too skinny, or kissing my ass. No matter what they say I've done, I ain't never had too much fun. Too much fun, what's that mean? It's like too much money. There's no such thing. It's like a bone too heavy, a clean too class. Being too born too, no matter what they say I've done, I ain't never had too much fun. I ain't never had too much fun. Would it be okay if I talk like this the rest of my life? That actually wouldn't be too bad. Just, hey, how you guys been? I've been pretty good. Good to see you guys. Like, is it illegal? Because I know it's like, it's not nice if you should like make fun of people, but I'm only making fun of a guy doing an impression in a movie. And I just think it'd be real fun to just talk like this, real. I don't know why that's so fun, and I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that movie in forever, and I have no desire to. I remember that was like one of those movies everyone's like, you gotta watch, and then you watch it, and you're like, fuck, okay. It feels like if everyone's like, dude, before you gotta bench press like a fucking 300 pounds, and you're like, okay. So then you go under, you're like, dude, it was heavy. You're like, oh yeah. It's called Sling Blade. You're like, a little bit of warning would be nice. My parents don't talk to me about that. All the dirty movies we have, it's like Porky's and fucking Roadhouse, and I'm jerking off to those, and I am not jerking off to this movie. Dude, when you're a kid, oh my God, that sounds weird. You know what I mean? When you're like, that's when you're a young, that's just what happens. When you're like figuring stuff out, you gotta fucking army crawl into get a VHS out of your parents' room, and then army crawl back out, and just, you're like, and you have to army crawl out, and you're hard, by the way. By the way, you're hard. So you're army crawling, and you're like, ow. Then you just like try to get on your back and like slide back to your room, but then your dick's. Oh my God. That's funny to me because that happened to me. I'm telling you, this is a personal. What do you want from me? It's a podcast and I'm talking about things that have happened to me. And then you go back in your room and then you watch the movie Roadhouse. Ooh, I'm going to make you my regular Saturday night thing. Oh, I'm getting hard now. Oh, shit, I'm going to slip in the coffee. Ooh, all right, I'll just set it back down. I lost my train of thought just having so much. Oh, no, I did. I remembered. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to do that. But why was I talking about that? That was just so much fun. God, that was the worst time in your life, just when you had to fucking find something to. Oh, God. Yeah, no Sling Blade. What other movies did my parents have? I remember they had Dances with Wolves, but I don't know why. I think because I remember watching Titanic, and that was a two-parter, and I think the Dances with Wolves one was too. I feel like it was just like not a movie that like you kind of either watch it with your family so you get like an appreciation for like a movie. But I barely remember that. I think like one time I stayed home sick and I tried to watch it, and after I was done, I was like, what? I was like in and out of sleep. Kevin Costner is in a mustache. Mm-hmm. Yep. He's in a mustache. Like that. If I would have had to give like a presentation, like Bobby stayed home sick and you had to watch a movie, what'd you watch? I watches Dances with Wolves, and Kevin Costner has a mustache, and he is fighting for the good side, the bad side of the Civil War. I don't remember what side of the war was Kevin Costner on. Okay, Google, what side of the Civil War was Kevin Costner on in Dances with Wolves?
According to Wikipedia, it is a film adaptation of the 1988 novel Dances with Wolves by Michael Blake that tells the story of Union Army Lieutenant John J. Dunbar, who travels to the American frontier to find a military post and who meets a group of Lakota.
So he's already winning. He was already winning. He was already on the Union side. That was right. That's the North. Yeah. I get very confused when I talk out loud. Think about what's going on inside. And people are like, God, you talk fast. Fucking get on in. I feel like what's that? In Superman or whatever. Whenever, because like people find out that like Earth's like loud for him or whatever, so he takes off like the other guy's headphones, and the guy from his planet's like, he's like, that's what I hear all day. That's so. If you think I fly around fast, you should hear the inside. It's not good. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. You better help me, or I'm gonna fucking. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Type in code Bobby, and they'll be like, "There's no code." We keep telling people that. If you need help, you should stop. They say stop listening to that podcast. That's what they tell you. At BetterHelp, they're like, if you type in Bobby, they're like, we are actively suing him for even bringing us up generally at all, as if his podcast is some way of life you should potentially be living at all. This episode's sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, you better help us fucking get this lawsuit going so Bobby stops mentioning us, because people will message us and they're like, can you help me? And they're like, definitely not. How many episodes of Discombobulated have you listened to? 10. You're fucking fucked. If you're 10 deep into this, you should sign up for the Patreon. It's available at Discombobulated at BobbyJaycox.com. It's something like, you know how fucking just Discombobulated at Patreon. You can get it for as cheap as $1. What? $1. What? $1. $1. So sign up for the Patreon, like, subscribe, do all the things. Send us your merch. And we'll wear it on the pod. Again, unless I don't want to, because that's like how life be. And so thank you for doing this. I don't know whether you're at work, whether you're driving, whether you're in church. Oh, God, please listen to this in church. Please put in no, don't try to be sneaky. Put on Beats by, you're like those Beats by Dre, like those big headphones, have the headphones on and be red. I want them, and just like be doing that, and just like, and there's no music, and only like, but just having fun while the guy's like putting bread in the air. It's like, oh, oh. Do you think that is there a Catholic church where they like change that up? God, I would love to hear some key changes. Hosanna in the that would be sick. So anyway, check it out. Listen to us wherever you can. Share it with a friend. Check out the merch. We're going to have stickers up soon. I have a bunch of stickers that we just got in. So if you want an assorted, you get online and I don't know we'll figure out the price. It'll be on the website as soon as this is out. So thank you. Go check it out. Thanks for being you. We'll all be around. I got shows in Austin, so if you live in Austin, come out and see me. If you live around the country, I can't wait to see you somewhere this year. Tell me where you live. Tell me exactly where you live. Tell me where you live. You tell me where you live. JK, bye. Have a good night. See you later, dudes.